Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Uh, that's one for you Tiger King lovers. Today, we are going to look at law enforcement from the perspective of searches and seizures. Okay, so last class, guys, we talked a little bit about just kind of what the roles and responsibilities of a police officer were. Kind of how our police system is a little different than that of many European countries and other countries around the world. So, like I said, today we're going to look specifically at searches and seizures. And so, you guys have obviously had some experience with this. Some of the Supreme Court cases we've looked at to gear up for all of this dealt specifically with illegal searches and seizures as well as due process of law. Um, but this is going to kind of specifically look at okay, what can the police do and what can they not do when it comes to searches and seizures. Okay, so remember, guys, searches and seizures, they are when the authorities conduct a search, make an arrest, or seize or take evidence, right? So seize means to take. Okay, and so if an authority like a state authority, like a police officer, does one of those things, then a search and or seizure has taken place. Okay, and so usually, guys, the courts, in order for them to say yes, it's okay for a police officer to conduct a search or seizure because of the Fourth Amendment, right? No illegal searches or seizures. Um, because of that, to make it legal, a police officer typically has to be issued a warrant by a court. Okay, and so when you're talking about getting that warrant, basically, guys, they have to have one of two things. Either they have to, I shouldn't say one of two things, I'm sorry, two things altogether. It can't be either or. So they both have to successfully present evidence to the court that shows that there's probable cause, and they also have to basically have evidence to show that uh, whatever crime that has been committed, a person, place, or thing that's on the search warrant um, that is going to be searched or sieged um, is related to the crime. So those are the two things you have to have as a police officer in order to get a warrant, typically from the courts. Now this depends on the states, guys, but also these police officers, they have to, you know, basically serve these warrants. They have to use or act on these warrants usually within 72 to 96 hours. It just depends on the states, like I said. So that is something to keep in mind as well. To search or not to search? That is the question. So this is for you literature fans, you uh, William Shakespeare fans. Okay, from Hamlet, we got Bugs Bunny from Space Jam doing his best Hamlet impersonation there. Uh, so, guys, there are situations where police officers don't have to get a warrant. They don't always have to get a warrant. And so those situations typically are dealing with one of three things. So either they're saying, okay, if I do not go ahead and act, for example, seizing a person, arresting a person, uh, they could either hurt me or they could hurt the public, people in the public, even without a warrant. There also is some leeway for police officers as far as evidence goes. So if they have probable cause to say this evidence, if we don't stop this person now and seize the evidence that they have, they could very easily get away and destroy it or hide it or whatever. So to ensure that that evidence is being collected, they can seize items as long as they have that probable cause. And then finally, guys, to apprehend a suspect or prevent their escape. So kind of like the evidence thing, don't let them get away. Okay, so you don't have to get a warrant if someone's committed a crime and they hop in a car. You can just go ahead, chase them down and arrest them. You do not have to do that. And there's several different areas, guys, where these things apply. For example, borders and places like that, along international borders, you can stop people. You can search their vehicles for contraband and things like that. So that's a part of this as well. Okay, but those are times where you can search a vehicle or search someone or someone's home, whatever the situation is, if it falls under these guidelines. So I keep mentioning probable cause, guys, and it's important to understand what probable cause is. Probable cause is basically saying, okay, do you have strong enough evidence that an independent, cautious person would have a good reason to believe that evidence and say, yeah, they probably did something. They probably committed this crime. Okay, and that's a pretty high standard to reach, honestly, guys, to say that someone that is independent and cautious because okay, they don't make rash decisions. They aren't just going to throw someone's life away by saying, yep, they must be guilty. But if they can show that, hey, that was the case, then that's probable cause. Like I said, regardless of warrant, no warrant, police officer has to have probable cause. So a judge is going to make sure that they have probable cause when they issue a warrant, and they're going to have to show probable cause if they, do a search or seizure without a warrant, if they want it to be legal, if they want to make sure that it's not going against someone's due process. And so speaking of that, guys, a case that was very pivotal in kind of deciding all of this as far as what you need a warrant for and what you don't need a warrant for as a police officer was a Supreme Court case, U.S. versus Ross. So you have this case where basically these police detectives, they have an informant, and informants tell them, hey, this guy is selling drugs out of his car, and he describes the car as this red Malibu, and tells them kind of the neighborhood where he's been selling his drugs. They circle around and are looking for this car, they don't see it at first, and then all of a sudden they see the red Malibu driving through the neighborhood that the informant talked about. They see a man that matches the description that the informant was talking about, and so they go and they pull this man over, and lo and behold, there's a bullet in the front seat, and so that to the police officers to the police detectives gave them the necessary means to say, hey, we have probable cause. One of the detectives, took his keys out of the ignition, used it to open the trunk, and lo and behold, what do they find? They find containers of a white powdery substance, which will later be tested and identified as heroin. And so Ross, he petitioned to the court that, hey, they should not be able to use that heroin that they found, that evidence, against me in court, because that goes against my due process, that goes against my Fourth Amendment rights. And the Supreme Court ruled 7-2 in favor of the government, okay, of the state. And so they basically said there are times when it is very reasonable for an officer to make sure that they can, like we talked about, collect evidence and make sure the evidence doesn't get away or is destroyed. They said then that means they do not necessarily need a warrant. So this case really cemented this idea that police officers don't necessarily have to get a warrant in order to conduct a legal search or seizure. Doesn't mean that they can just go do whatever they want, but it certainly opens the door for certain situations where that's the case. Some other situations, guys, where police officers don't need a warrant. Hot pursuit. So when someone's in hot pursuit, they're chasing a criminal or a suspect, and they end up going into a residence or whatever. If they've already been chasing them, they can pursue them into that building or residence or whatever. Vehicles. So this has been shown to really impact rulings as far as needing a warrant or not for vehicles. So police can stop you. They can search your vehicle without a warrant. Once again, they have to have probable cause. Okay, so for example, guys, if police are looking for illegal immigrants and they pull a car over and they search the car, that could be, depending on their probable cause, that could be a legal search. If they tell someone in the car, hey, open up that suitcase, I'm going to search that, that would be an illegal search because they have that has no connection. There's not going to be any illegal immigrants hiding in that suitcase. There's no connection to that. So there are fine lines, just like we've talked about with a lot of these cases. But this really established, okay, police officers in certain circumstances do have the right, the authority to conduct a search or seizure without a warrant. All right, guys, that does it for this video, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Have a good one.